Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals today. Get a sip of water. People who keep asking, no, it's not Kool-Aid, this is sugar-free Sonic Cherry Limeade. No, I am not worried about the aspartame. Again, if you read all the research and data that's out there, you probably really shouldn't be worried about it. Not really a problem. And yes, I keep up with the research on that. But that aside, let's talk a little bit about training, rep ranges, because everyone keeps still talking about this whole power building thing. Everyone's talking about power building. Why? What people are calling power building is traditional bodybuilding that's been done for generations. How did you guys see me train today? What did my workout look like? Actually, my last couple workouts have you seen me do? I do some heavy fives on big movements. What? Bench press, weighted pull-ups, squats, deadlifts. Okay. Then we do pump work. High rep curls, high rep pullovers, really high rep band press down, sets of 15 plus reps on calves, some hamstring work, these sort of things, right? Ab work. This is the way people train forever. Like, I'm not even training like a power lifter right now, even though my background's in powerlifting. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and look good. So that's why I'm cutting. That's why I'm working more arms and biceps and things. Because really, that's the only thing people could make the argument with for me. Oh, Blaha needs another couple inches of bicep. He needs to get leaner. Then what? I'll look like a classic bodybuilder, pretty much. So it's what I'm doing. And because of that, let's think about that. So look at this whole power building argument nonsense. Everyone's talking about it. I'm over here looking back in history, and of course looking at the science research, and because I know a lot of great coaches and stuff too. I'm looking back in history and going, how did golden era bodybuilders train? How did guys train in the 50s and 60s who had these classic physiques that all these people talk about? Classic physiques. They did heavy work followed by pump work. That is bodybuilding. Okay? Why are people calling this power building? Because it seems like that's what they're doing. Why? This is classic bodybuilding. And let's come over it. If you want a classic bodybuilder look, what should you probably be doing? Probably big basic barbell movements with heavy weight. Probably a lot of pullovers also. And then you do pump work. You come in and do a bunch of arms and pullovers and calves. That is traditional classic bodybuilding. So why are we having this argument on social media and all these lifting circles? Why are you guys calling classic bodybuilding power building now that arguing against it? What's your other option? Modern bodybuilding, which is, set aside the guys like Ronnie Coleman or whatever who lifted some crazy heavy weights, but a lot of what people are doing, which is fascinating, a lot of these people are claiming to be natural, but then they're emulating the training styles of guys who use 5 grams of gear. Why don't you train like the classic physiques did? Because the idea that it's like, oh, we're going to do a bunch of pump work. Split your body part splits and pump work. That's called modern bodybuilding. Okay? And usually requires a whole lot of gear. I'm not saying you have to, by the way. It is possible to make great gains doing that without stuff. But I'm just kind of throwing that out there. It just seems rather strange. I see all these supposed natties arguing about this. But let's think about what even the best experts are saying about the rep ranges. How many researchers and experts who are looking at this stuff are saying, yeah, the really heavy work does produce a potentially higher quality hypertrophy? And again, I'm not saying I agree with all these people, but we've seen Lyle McDonald say this. We've seen Menno Henselman, these people who are respected in scientific circles to some extent. They're saying this, that yeah, it may cause myofibular growth, may produce better hardness, better muscle maturity and stuff over time, right? Okay. But what are a lot of other experts in the field saying? That we think that different rep ranges may actually have their own separate stimulus. We can't prove it yet. The science is a long way from that. But when you look at the way the body operates, it stands to reason that what? That really low reps may produce a slightly different hypertrophic pathway that you're not getting with the intermediate reps. Like the 8 to 12 is kind of an intermediate. That's like your classic, what they call the hypertrophy zone. And then really high reps are doing some other metabolic stuff. Okay. Some of them are saying that they do think that's where the evidence and the science is going to go in the long term. That these different rep ranges may have some specific stimulus to hypertrophy that you don't fully get through the other rep ranges. Well, if that's the case, then the whole idea of heavy work and then pump work makes a lot of sense. It makes a tremendous amount of sense if that turns out to be true. So if that ends up being the case, modern evidence-based bodybuilding would go in the direction of, yeah, you should probably do really heavy work, some moderate work, and then some really high pump work if you want to gain the most muscle possible, which again is what people are wanting to call bodybuilding, right? The idea with bodybuilding, well, you're trying to maximize hypertrophy through your whole body and create a balance, and then you're trying to get lean. It's all about body compositions, largely what bodybuilding entails. But in that case, then doing the really heavy work would be part of it. But so would the really light work, right? So then if that becomes a thing, then this whole concept of the power building goes away. It's like, no, this would just be bodybuilding. I mean, we're back full circle. We're going full circle. And again, these arguments from these clowns. And half these guys making these statements aren't even big. Half the guys arguing about this stuff, I mean, realistically, they're not even that big. Come on. What in the hell are you guys even talking about? Right? You're not authorities on any of this. Don't compete. Not even jacked. Not that jacked. I mean, reasonably. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys next time.